Yeah, students, we have learned capacitors in series and as well as parallel in the previous lecture. Now just I'm drawing some conclusions from yesterday's equations, right? So this is a capacitor, two capacitors which are connected in series connection. Now going throughout this derivation, I want to find out expression for voltage V1 and V2 in terms of C1, C2 without finding charge Q. So you can go through this derivation, you can take a screenshot of this and you can go through the derivation. Those students who have joined lately in this video session, you can go through this derivation, and finally we are arriving equations for V2, and V2 is equal to C1 divided by C1 plus C2 into V. So taking this into the consideration, I can write down equations for potential dropped across first capacitor, potential dropped across second capacitor. Potential dropped across first capacitor is C2 divided by C1 plus C2 into V. Potential dropped across second capacitor is C1 divided by C1 plus C2 into V. Without finding charge, directly you can find out potentials dropped across each capacitor. Now let us take one example. We have two capacitors of capacity 10 microfarad and 5 microfarad. And you have a battery of 5 volt. So in order to find out voltage dropped here V1 and voltage dropped here V2, directly C1, C2 and V are known to you. You can just substitute those here so that you can find out V1 and V2 within one single step. So I recommend you to remember these equations V1 and V2 in solving series and parallel combination problems. Same thing, whatever we have done in the previous example of series connection, you can do that here also. You can go with the derivation like this. Simply take net charge Q is equal to Q1 plus Q2. From here, eliminate Q1 or Q2. If you eliminate Q2, you will get equation for Q1. If you eliminate Q1, you will get equation for Q2. And those are Q1 and Q2, which is being directly written. Q1 is equal to C1 divided by C1 plus C2 into Q, where Q is the net charge. And similarly here Q2. These are the equations you need to remember. Now let me take one simple example. You are taking two capacitors. One is 5 farad and the other one is 10 farad. And you are connecting it to a battery of 100 volt. Okay, I want to find out what is being charged in the first capacitor and as well as second capacitor. Q1 I want to find out, Q2 I want to find out. So Q1 directly you can find it as Q1 is equal to C1 divided by C1 plus C2. What is C1? It is 5 divided by 5 plus 10 into, what is Q? Q is equal to C effective into Q. What is Q here? Q you can find out, Q is equal to C effective into V. Okay. So C effective, you know, it is C1 plus C2. This is Q1. Likewise, you can find out Q2 also. If total charge which is being transferred by the battery is known, you can find out Q1 and Q2 simply by using these relations. Okay. This is one more important conclusion which you can draw from series and parallel combination. So in this problem, what we are doing is, initially this capacitor, listen carefully. First, this is battery and this is second battery. First capacitor is connected to first battery. Therefore, Q initially it has some charge. Q initial is equal to CV. And now you are taking this capacitor, connecting it to the second battery, because S1 is open and S2 is closed. In the question itself, it is given at any time S1 switch is opened, S1 is opened and S2 switch is closed. Now you are closing this and you are opening this. Initially, capacitor is already charged because its potential has been increased to V. So V initial is equal to V, Q initial is equal to CV. This is not, this is charged capacitor now because it is connected with potential V. So suddenly what you are doing, you are removing S1 and connecting it to S2. Therefore, in order to make the capacitor potential equal to potential of the battery, this new battery will transfer some charge. So how much charge it is transferring? Q final will be equal to, what will be the final charge over here? Final charge will be equal to Q is equal to CV, that is C into 2 times V. This is final charge upon this battery, right? Now what is Q transferred? Will be equal to final minus Q initial. Okay, so this gives you 2 times CV and minus CV, that gives you CV. So how much is the charge transferred over here? Charge transferred will be equal to CV by the second battery. Okay, now because of this transfer of charge, there is some heat developed over there. Now I want to find out heat generated over there. Heat generated will be equal to work done by the battery minus change in potential energy. Work done by the battery minus change in potential energy. This is work done minus change in potential energy is final potential energy minus initial potential energy. Now let me take this as equation number 1. Work done by the battery is equal to Q transferred into potential V, and that is 2 times V because you are connecting it to the second battery. Work done by the second battery here. Therefore, what is Q transferred? It is CV. So that is CV into 2V. This is equal to 2CV square. This is work done by the battery. Now coming to potential U initial. What is its initial potential? That is Q initial whole square divided by what is its this is 2C. C is capacitance of that particular capacitor. What is Q initial? C square V square divided by 2C. Okay, this is U initial. What is U final? Q final whole square divided by 2C. What is Q final? It is 4C square V square divided by 2C. Okay, this 2 gets cancelled. Potential difference is equal to this C and this C gets cancelled. 2C V square minus of this C and this C gets cancelled. It is half C V square. This is equal to 2 2's 4. 4 CV square minus CV square, that is 3 CV square divided by 2. This is change in potential energy. Now I need to find out heat produced. Heat produced is equal to 2 CV square minus of 3 CV square divided by 2. This is 2 2's 4. 4 CV square minus 3 CV square divided by 2. That is equal to CV square by 2. This is the final expression for heat produced. Students, in this problem, we are now supposed to find out equivalent capacitance of the circuit. You should find out equivalent capacitance. In order to find out equivalent capacitance, you can reduce this circuit into a simple form. Okay, you should resolve this circuit into a simple form. Whenever we want to find out equivalent capacitance, of course, we have different methods of solving problems of equivalent capacitance. And the first method is that you can reduce the circuit into a simple form by individually resolving capacitance through each loop. I'll explain how to do that. See, we have, if you observe this carefully, from the circuit, you can identify how many capacitors are connected in parallel and connected in series. Start from any one particular point, like I'll be starting from this end. Starting from this point, I'll come from here. I'll come from this loop. Okay, A and B. Now in between AB, you have 6 microfarad and 3 microfarad. These two are connected in 6 microfarad and 3 microfarad. These are connected in series. Okay. So when these two are connected in series, what is effective capacitance here? For these two connections, it is 6 into 3 micro square divided by 6 plus 3, 9 micro, right? This is 3 3 is 9 and 3 2 6. So finally you can get it as 2 microfarad, the effective capacitance of these two capacitors when connected in series. Am I right? I am not making mistake for sure, I think so. So 3 3 is 9 and 3 2 6, 2 microfarad. And this effective 2 microfarad, it is connected to 2 microfarad in between AB in parallel combination, is it not? The effective of 6 microfarad and 3 microfarad is combined with 2 microfarad in parallel in between AB. So therefore first I will find out CAB, that is equal to, as these two are connected in parallel, 2 microfarad plus 2 microfarad gives you 4 microfarad. So I have resolved effective capacitance between A and B. Yes. Now I can take this whole part, I can take this total part, I can replace with 4 microfarad. So how you can redraw the circuit now? It's very simple. This is A, and obviously this becomes B because it is simply a wire. What is it? 4 microfarad. What is it? 4 microfarad. 4 microfarad, 4 microfarad. These two are connected in parallel, right? If these two are connected in parallel, what is the effective? 8 microfarad. This 8 microfarad is connected in series with another 8 microfarad, right? So C effective will be equal to 8 into 8 micro square divided by 2 into 8 micro. This and this gets cancelled, that becomes 4. So C effective will be equal to 4 microfarad. This is the final expression for finding final value of equivalent capacitance of the circuit. Coming to the next question. Here in this circuit we have 8 volt battery, and this 8 volt battery is connected to combination of the capacitors. Okay, and here 3 microfarad, 9 microfarad, they are connected in parallel. You are able to identify that. Now these two, as they are connected in parallel, what is the effective? Effective can be 9 plus 3, 12 microfarad, because they are connected in parallel. And 12 microfarad is in series with 4 microfarad. Okay, so I will denote this as A, B. 12 microfarad and 4 microfarad, they are connected in series, right? So I'll simply write it as 4 microfarad into 12 microfarad divided by 4 plus 12 microfarad. So what is final answer? 12 plus 4, it is 16, and 4 4 16, and 4 3 is 12 microfarad, that is 3 microfarad, right? Now what is the effective capacitance in the upper portion? So this total effective capacitance become 3 microfarad, and 3 microfarad is in parallel with 2 microfarad. So I can redraw the net circuit like this. 3 and 2 both are combined in parallel, so finally it will become 5 microfarad, and this is connected to 8 volt, right? This is the effective capacitance, right? C effective is equal to total effective capacitance of the whole circuit can be 5 microfarad, right? That is first question. Find the net capacitance. I have calculated the net capacitance of the circuit. And now coming to question number 2, find charge transferred in the circuit. I want to find out net charge transferred over here. So Q transferred is equal to C effective into V. Therefore Q transferred is equal to effective capacitance is 5 microfarad into what is potential of the battery? 8 volt. That is equal to 40 microcoulomb. That is Q transferred. So second answer, it is 40 microcoulomb. This is the charge transferred in the circuit. Coming to third question, find charge on each capacitor. You should now find out charge on each capacitor. What is the total charge transferred by the battery? Total charge transferred by the battery is 40 microcoulomb. Okay, now I'll find out charge on each capacitor. Okay, that is question number 4. You should find out charge on each capacitor. Now, how much is the total charge transferred by the battery? Total charge transferred by the battery is equal to 40 microcoulomb. Okay. Now, this 40 comes over here and 40 gets divided into two parts. From here it is Q1. Some charge goes to this 2 microfarad and some charge goes to this combination. Okay. And already we have learnt that this total combination effectivity is 3 microfarad, right? This is 3 microfarad. Okay. You can now find out simply Q1. What is formula for Q1? Because these two are connected in parallel over here, Q1 can be written as 2 microfarad divided by 2 plus 3 microfarad into Q net. This is equal to 2 by 5 into 40. 5 8s 40, 2 8s 16. So what is Q1? Q1 is equal to 16 microfarad. And what about Q2? Q2 will be equal to 40 minus 16, which is equal to 24 micro. I'm sorry, this is microcoulomb. 24 microcoulomb. Q1 and Q2 values I have calculated, right? What is Q1? 16 microcoulomb. And what is Q2? It is 24. So finally, if you add Q1 and Q2, definitely you should get 40. That's right. So I will locate now charges on each capacitor, right? Charge here will be 16 microcoulomb and charge over here coming to this is equal to 24 microcoulomb. Okay. Now coming to this 24 microcoulomb, check it up. What have happened? This 24 microcoulomb directly enter into this 4 microfarad. So charge accommodated on 4 microfarad is 24 microcoulomb. You do not have any problem with that. That 24 microcoulomb, when it comes here, it get divided into two portions. I will be considering it as Q3 and Q4. Okay. You can find out Q3 and Q4. Individual Q3 and Q4 you can calculate it, right? So Q3, I'll erase how can you write Q3? Q3 will be equal to, what is its capacity? 3 divided by, and what about these two? 3 plus 9, 12 into 24. 12 to 24. This is equal to 5 microcoulomb. So Q3 is equal to 5 microcoulomb, and obviously Q4 will be equal to 24 minus 5. So Q4 will be equal to 19 microcoulomb. So charge on each capacitor is being calculated. How much it is? Q1 is equal to 16 microcoulomb. Q2, that is charge on 4 microfarad, is equal to 24 microcoulomb, and charge on 3 microfarad, it is 5 microcoulomb, and charge on the fourth one, it is equal to 19 microcoulomb. These are the charges which are being accommodated on the total individual capacitors. Q3, is it 6, right? I'm sorry. Yes. Q3 is 6. I'm sorry. This is 6. 3 to 6, right? So it will be 18. This becomes 6 microfarad and this become 18 microfarad. Right. I'm sorry. So Q1, Q2, Q3, Q4, all those values we have calculated. Now you should find out question number 4. What it is? Find work done by the battery. Okay. Now you should find out net work done by the battery. I'm just erasing these all. Remember the values which we have solved in this problem. Question number 4. Find work done by the battery. Work done by the battery is equal to potential difference into Q transferred. Work done by the battery is equal. What is potential difference? 8 volt. And how much is charge transferred? Obviously 40 micro coulomb. This gives you work done is equal to 8 force 32 microjoule. This is work done by the battery. Work done by the battery is 32 320 microjoule. Next, question number 5. Find heat produced in the circuit. Obviously, I already mentioned in the previous lectures, heat produced will be half of the work done, that is 320 divided by 2 microjoule. This is one way you can find out heat by simple understanding, like heat produced will be definitely half of the work done in most of the cases. Or if you want to do that, if you want to calculate that mathematically, you can use this. H is equal to work done minus change in the potential energy. Okay, this is equal to how much is work done? 320 microjoule minus of initially these all capacitors are uncharged. Now you are connecting to battery of 8 volt, they become charged. What is the total charge accommodated over on all these capacitors? It is 40. So it is Q square divided by 2 into C effective. This is equal to 320 microjoule minus of Q square. It is 40 micro whole square divided by 2 into effective capacitance. That effective capacitance which we have calculated in the beginning, that effective capacitance you need to substitute here so that you will be getting heat produced. And obviously that should be equal to 320 by 2 microjoule. Finally, you will be getting answer as 160 microjoule. That is the heat produced, and you can verify that in both the cases. And remember, heat produced can be equal to half of the work done if and only if initial potential energy stored in the circuit is 0. If initial potential energy in the circuit is non-zero, then you cannot take directly heat produced as work done by 2. That's wrong. If initial potential energy is non-zero, then you should use this basic formula. This relation you should use. First, find out the change in potential energy. From that, from work done, you subtract that, you will be getting heat produced. And obviously, that may not be half of the work done. So when you are solving problems, don't directly write down heat is equal to work done by 2. That is valid only if initial potential energy is 0. Yeah, coming to the next question, we have a combination of capacitors being given, and in this combination you should find out equivalent capacitance. Now, in order to solve these kind of problems, of course, in this circuit you are able to identify which are connected in parallel and which are connected in series. So therefore, you can reduce this circuit into simpler form, and you can find out the effective capacitance. So by method 1, what is method 1? Reducing circuit into simple form. You can reduce the circuit into simpler form and you can find out the effective capacitance. This is by general method. Okay. Now see, check it up. 3 microfarad, 3 microfarad, 3 microfarad. All these three are connected in series. So if these are connected in series, what do you get? C, first I am writing it as C1. C1 will be equal to, right, 1 by C1 will be equal to 1 by 3 plus 1 by 3 plus 1 by 3, that is 3 by 3. This is equal to 1. So C1 will be equal to 1, right? So what is the effective capacitance still here? Effective capacitance still here will be 1 microfarad. Okay. Next, that 1 microfarad is combined with parallel to this 2 microfarad. Okay. So 1 microfarad which you get here, that is connected in parallel with this 2 microfarad. So therefore, finally, till here, what is the effective capacitance? This total part, effective capacitance, we have got it here as 3 microfarad. Because 2 plus 1 gives you 3 microfarad. Now coming to next, 3 microfarad, 3 microfarad, 3 microfarad. They are connected in series. Therefore, till here, effective capacitance, we have got it as 1 microfarad. Okay. Now 1 microfarad is connected with this 2 microfarad in parallel. So what is the effective capacitance? Effective capacitance till here, that is 3 microfarad. Okay. Finally, 3 microfarad, 3 microfarad, 3 microfarad. All those three are connected in series. So therefore, C effective will be equal to 1 microfarad. This is the final answer. And this is the simplest way. And this method is valid if you are able to identify the combinations of the capacitors. So if you are able to reduce the circuit into simpler ways, then you can use this method and we can find out the effective capacitance in the easier way.